So Dr. Banta, tell me about corn, because a lot of people wonder why we feed corn to begin with, and why don't we just take that corn, the same corn that we feed livestock, why don't we just feed it to humans?
Okay, so I guess the first thing we need to talk about when we talk about corn is there's actually two different groups of corn that's raised in the U.S. So one of those is what we call field corn or dent corn. And so when you look at the kernel on the top of the kernel, it actually have a little dent in it. The other one is what we call sweet corn. And so when we look at what we eat as humans, whether that's on the cob or that's cream corn or something like that, that's actually sweet corn. That's not the dent corn. And so that's going to be grown for human consumption. The majority of what we're going to be feeding livestock is actually that dent corn. Now sometimes we may use some of that for some cornmeal or some of those things, but that's not that corn on the cob we're eating. So both of those are grown with separate intentions when we're looking at them. So when we're talking about dent corn or field corn, we're really not taking any extra food out of the human food chain. And the reason we use that for livestock is because that's a very dense source of calories. And so like we were talking about earlier, where by feeding them that higher energy source, it takes less time to finish those animals. And that's the case whether we were talking about other species as well, is we can be more efficient and actually in the long run use less resources by using that high quality energy source in our feedlot rations.
So people raise corn for livestock on purpose. Why do they do that?
They do that because we're very efficient in our production, and so we don't need all those acreage to grow that sweet corn. And so we can take some of that acreage and grow that dent corn, which again provides that really high quality energy source for cattle, and it helps produce that marbling and that fat that's preferred by a lot of the consumers here in the United States.